Welcome, everybody, to this Bitcoin Basics section. This Bitcoin Basics section, and really what these are to help you grow in your Bitcoin knowledge one step at a time by covering one Bitcoin basic term or theme. Really, because your foundation of knowledge around Bitcoin, it's built brick by brick, but basic by basic. And we really want to help you solidify these basic concepts because they do really matter over time. This week's basic concept, this Bitcoin Basics, is Bitcoin change and change addresses. So what is Bitcoin change? Well, your Bitcoin balance is made up of different deposit amounts, right? You might deposit 0.5 Bitcoin, 0.1 Bitcoin, these different deposit amounts, kind of like dollar bills you might have in an actual wallet. And the amount of change or the amount of Bitcoin left over from a payment comes back to you as change. Going back to that dollars in a wallet analogy, let's say I have a $10 bill and I want to make a payment, buy some coffee that costs $3. Well, I'm going to give a barista my $10 bill, and the barista is then going to give me $7 back as change. So that concept of getting change for a payment, that really is the same thing in Bitcoin as well. In Bitcoin, using that graphic that we have in the lower right-hand side, you might be seeing, okay, in my Bitcoin wallet, I have one deposit of 0.9 Bitcoin. So I have that one chunk, that one deposit, that one bill, so to speak. And if I want to pay somebody, maybe it's a friend of mine, and I want to pay them 0.2 Bitcoin from my 0.9 that I have, well, really what's happening there in the background is I am paying them 0.2 Bitcoin, and then the remainder from that 0.9, that 0.7 remainder is coming back to me as change. And the destination for my change is what's called a change address. So really thinking about that deposit amount, what that 0.9 Bitcoin is in that graphic is a UTXO. It's kind of its own term, and I encourage you to go to our pretty incredible blog. Tom Honzik, my colleague on the concierge team, has written a 3-part series covering UTXOs. Definitely encourage you to go check that out. But really, when we think about transacting Bitcoin, we want to be thinking about change as well. Now, why is this important? Well, it's because you're going to see change, whether it's the amount coming back to you into your change address. You're going to see it on the screens of the devices and software you work with. And this is really just to help you wrap your mind around what Bitcoin change is. So where are you going to see your change address and the amount coming back to you as change? Well, you're given wallet coordinator, and I know that's a fancy term, but think unchained.com, right? Where you go to see your balance and plug in your signing devices to move your Bitcoin around or receive Bitcoin. Their wallet coordinator, unchained.com, the Trezor Suite, Ledger Live, Caravan, they're going to show you your change address when you're doing a transaction. So I've included a screenshot of what it looks like on the Unchained platform here. You see down below, there's that change address that starts with a 3. That change address, to the right of it, you're going to notice a little checkmark logo, a checkmark symbol there, an icon. That is the opportunity for you to confirm that change address on your device, like you might do if you're depositing Bitcoin to your vault. If you're using a Trezor, you can confirm that address on your device. Cold cards offer you the ability to do that as well. And actually, Phil Geiger, my colleague Phil Geiger, and I did an entire webinar on the importance of confirming your transaction on your device. I encourage you to go check that out as well on the Unchained YouTube channel. But your coordinator interface is going to be showing you your change address, and then so is the screen of your signing device. You plug in your Trezor or your Ledger, or you're signing a transaction with your cold card. As you approve a transaction, you're going to be approving the amount that's coming back to you as change. So it is going to be showing on the screen of your signing device as well. And you can match up what's showing on your signing device with what's showing in your coordinator platform with unchained.com, and they should match up. So if you're confirming some information on your device, and you go through and you see an amount coming back to you to an address that at first is unfamiliar, think about Bitcoin change and the concept of Bitcoin change. And those instances will become more and more over time. It's really just knowing Bitcoin transactions like the back of your hand. But the entire concept of change and change addresses is kind of new to somebody new to Bitcoin, and they're thinking about how all this stuff works. So I'm glad we were able to cover it here today, give you a Bitcoin basic overview of Bitcoin change and Bitcoin change addresses. So with that, that was our Bitcoin basics topic for this week. Bitcoin change addresses. Thank you all for joining for this brief video on Bitcoin basics. We're excited to see you next time for our next Bitcoin basics session. Thank you.